Welcome back to the VET S.O.S podcast. Remember, don't drown in the sea of transition. Grab the VET S.O.S Lifeline. Today, we're sitting down with Dr. Tony Dice, author, therapist, loving father, and much, much more. We're going to get into all that here soon. He's got a great story, and it just has some great things he's doing and coming up. Can't wait to get into that. Sitting here with my spades partner, Keith. How you doing today?
Living the dream, brother. Ready to drop Boston. Maybe hope you're ready to, hold some bags and cover the nil. Hopefully you can carry me. Are you able to carry me? Sorry, I'm tap dancing on my spades. Sorry, it's been a while since I played spades, so for me to be able to fire those terms off.
Yeah, I actually watched a TV episode last night where they were playing spades, so it was kind of fresh in my mind. But
I haven't played spades since I was in uniform. Yeah, since I was in uniform. That was a common deployment game for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. It does. Might have to go find some people to play with. I miss playing. And actually, I probably just miss talking shit more than anything. But anyway, that's all another story.
Yeah. You still talk shit. What are you talking about?
This is true. This is true, Tony. You don't have to put my business out there like that. All right, we're sitting down with Dr. Tony Dice. He's author, therapist, devoted husband, loving father of 5, professional substance abuse group practitioner, and owner of Bishop Dice Defense LLC. He is experienced as a therapist, paramedic, firefighter, Navy SEAL, and drug addict, having allowed for a unique understanding of the human condition. Dr. Dice has been recognized at both the regional and national levels for his contribution to his profession and his service to the community. He has presented on addiction at national and international conferences, authored several articles, and presented numerous workshops. He holds degrees in social sciences, human services, counseling education, and supervision, and is currently an adjunct professor at Old Dominion University, where he teaches counseling and human services courses. Quite an amazing resume. You've lived multiple lives in one life, it looks like. How you doing today, brother?
Oh, I'm so grateful to be here, guys. And what a unique space to kind of tie all these services together. You guys have created something special, man. Much needed.
Well, we appreciate that. And, it's never in a million years would I imagine that this would have been what we're doing 3 years later. Now we're a nonprofit, but most importantly, I tell Keith this every month. I laugh more probably during our recording sessions, just having a good time, telling, old war stories, everything else. It's so therapeutic. And I heard another veteran podcaster use that term this week. It really is. It's therapeutic for us, and it gives us that sense of community and everything. And we get to talk to awesome people like you. So, it's all good.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome.
And my son goes to ODU right now, so I just got.
Oh, hell yeah! Yeah, I got 2 there, man. Yeah,
okay.
ODU.
Are you local? Are you local to the area?
Yep.
Okay.
Virginia Beach.
Yeah, I live I'm right by Mount Trashmore, so nice.
Hell yeah, dude! I know those steps so well. Oh my god!
I bet you do.
Oh my gosh!
Did we just become best friends?
We just became best friends. That's right. Oh shit.
Oh man,
I'm a regional alum, so different. But yeah, he went to ODU.
There you go, man. Oh yeah, what's his major?
Computer science.
Hell yeah, mine's cybersecurity. Fuck yeah.
Nice. Yep.
One engineer, one cybersecurity. So proud of them. Yeah, kicking ass, taking names.
That's awesome.
Monarchs forever.
Yep. I haven't been to a football game yet. I got to get to one.
Got to do it, man. Got to do it. Hell yeah.
All right. That's the line. I've totally hijacked the show. Yeah.
That's right. No worries. Let's jump right in, guys. I got something to say. I want to say it.
Didn't you hijack another show with the whole Monarch thing?
Well, that one, he thought I was an alum. That was weird. I kept trying to steer him back. I'm like, I'm not an ODU alum. My kid's going. But no, but yeah, we did hijack with ODU. I connected with another guy in ODU. Yeah.
Tony's going to have to be the last ODU person we have on here because it just throws you way off.
That gets all excited.
All right. So tell us, let's start with your transition, man. Tell us your transition out of the military. How'd that go?
Like I said before, like you in my intro, man, I was a firefighter, paramedic, Navy SEAL. All 3 of those are, service related. All 3 of those are community related, and all 3 of those offered me something else, structure. You're drug tested. You had to show up on time. You had to be where you're supposed to be. There's life and death scenarios. All that had that kind of pressure and structure that kind of completed this cage that was put over me for most of my younger life. That was this. So when I decided to get out of the military, there was a bunch of things going on. One, I had a healthy addiction to alcohol. The biggest gift the Navy gave me was this wonderful substance that I don't care what's going on in your life. You know, you had your mom died, your girl left you, your dog died, you got fired, you got promoted, whatever's going on, you and I can sit down and I can help you get through it with this bottle, and we're going to solve these problems. It was this universal Swiss Army knife of a cure for everything. And I loved that. I loved the Navy's relationship with alcohol. Man, I had a flask on me 24/7. I mean, it was, dude, it was a solution that I had been looking for a long time. And I, I drank before the Navy, but the Navy kind of made me turn pro. I got really, really good at it.
Yeah. Reminds me
Number
of
one
that
draft
Simpsons quote. I love the Homer Simpson quote. Oh, alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
Yes, dude. The unfortunate, shitty, awesome thing about that is it's so true. I mean, alcohol works great until it doesn't,
Until it doesn't. Yep.
until it, what do they say? They say it turns on you. It's like me and alcohol, and all of a sudden alcohol turns and says, it goes
My
after you. They're at
mistress
the
until she
jugular.
turned on me. Yep.
Yes. So I'm hooked. I got this going, and I learned, once you achieve a certain level, and I'm not going to talk shit about, the SEAL teams, but I like to dabble in coke and ecstasy in those years on my weekends when I have extended leave. And that was my story. And in doing so, I was, dodging urinalysis and, getting away with it. And I got really good at getting away with it for so long. And this was a pre 9/11 SEAL. We were training and spun up and nothing was happening. And I could see the writing on the wall that I was headed for some disaster at some point. When you put drugs or alcohol in me, I get a little bit crazy. If you don't give me a mission, I'll make one up. And you ever go to a concert and you see some fool climbing up into the speakers and the light system up there? That was me every time. I'd be the first, get out of a bar. And this really happened in Chicago. And I'd pull open a manhole cover and go, guys, let's see where this goes. And we would go. And Chicago has incredible sewer systems. If you ever get a chance, they're like cathedrals down there. It's crazy. But
take your word on that.
That's the kind of guy I was, just go, let's go figure out something out. But I was also smart enough to get something bad's going to happen. I'm going to get in trouble. Something's going to happen. So when my reenlistment came up, there was this come to Jesus moment of, do I want to be a SEAL, which is, fucking awesome to be a SEAL, the brotherhood, everything, or do I want to party? Do I want to drink how I want to drink? So addiction had me without me even knowing at that point, to a point where I was questioning my life, choices. And I chose to get out of the military. And this is another darker chapter. When I made that transition, I never realized how much freedom had cost me. The people who serve in the military love freedom. We're going to step to the line and give our lives in defense of freedom. But that cost is me giving up so many freedoms, accountability, where I'm going to move, what's going on. I can't make any long-term plan. There was a lot of stuff I had given up to be in the military. And I didn't realize what freedom actually was until I got out and that cage got taken off me. And I was this highly trained Navy SEAL that could do whatever he wanted. And that was mind blowing. I mean, I remember just a sense of not being able to make unlimited choices of what I can put in my body, how fast I could go. I mean, it just seemed like you were releasing me into the wild with zero rules and regulations. And I took full advantage of that. That same drive that helped me made me successful in the SEAL teams or just getting to the SEAL teams, I executed in direction of this addiction. So it was a lot of blow, a lot of ecstasy, a lot of going and thinking I'm just going to take this world and figure it out and just, which is very expensive, by the way. Yes. Money quickly became a factor.
I love the deadpan change there.
Yes.
Now,
Oh man. So I'm getting out and and later the next year, 9/11 kicks off and I'm like, oh, this is what I've been waiting for. But my addiction has spun at this point. I am hook, line, and sinker deep in this. And so I'm trying to figure out, should I try to get out of drinking and using and re-enlist, or what should I'm angry and I'm full of emotion. I want to play. I found this thing called contracting. And remember back when DynCorp, Blackwater got in all that trouble in contracting over there? Well, there were a lot of companies over there at the same time doing a lot of crazy shit. And that was my era of contracting. I'm not saying I was a guy who screwed up, but I can say I can understand what they were doing. It was the wild, wild west over there. And this was a solution for me getting out, and still having that attachment. It was 3-month contracts, 4-month contracts, easy contracts to go. Like it was like a deployment, over there, come back, drink and use how I wanted to, go back over there. It's almost like my party until my health bars went down to red and were flashing, take a contract, eat, sleep, and lift, boop, get fully charged and come back to the States.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is where I noticed, I first noticed this problem I was having with the civilian sector. I would come back here and, this back and forth from war zone to peacetime, traffic lights. I hated traffic lights. Pull up and the guy, I'm flinching at the guy next to me. I hated stopping. Couple drinks, handful of pills. I'm good to go. I can drive. I can exist in this gray sphere called civilian world, where there's feelings and emotions and bills and bullshit. There was another solution besides being effed up. It was to take another contract. And I'd go back over, and all of a sudden, you're keyed up, but it's for a reason, because there's a threat. And that makes you feel sane. Come back to the States, I'm keyed up. There's no threat. I feel insane. So I was really stuck in this little, I'm more comfortable actually out of country. So I was stuck in that pattern for a while. That was one of my coping strategies, was party like a rock star, deplete the fundage, redeploy over there for a contract, save up some money, and back and forth. The problem I found with this solution matrix was that any kind of addiction is progressive in nature. The drinking, I love to drink. In fact, I love drinking so much. That's the reason I did cocaine, so I could drink more. That was like, oh, problem solved.
Nice.
Cocaine gets expensive. Ecstasy, you lose a lot of stuff. I'm telling you, man, I have lost more phones, more, just everything. You just come home and you're like, I don't have anything. Oh, it gets pricey, that lifestyle, and it takes a toll. I had progressed through the alcohol, coke, ecstasy, and ended up in crystal meth, which I switched to for financial reasons. It seemed to make sense to use less, last longer. I ended,
Simple
he's shaking his head. Yeah,
economics.
Keith knows.
Makes
Yeah,
perfect sense to an addict. Absolutely.
made perfect sense. Unfortunately, it's very taxing on the body. And I don't know if you guys are able to share images. There is a picture of me that I keep on my desk. And it is, oh my gosh, it is of, let's see, it's in 2010. It's a picture of this guy with his 2-year-old son at Mount Trashmore, and he weighs 130 pounds. It's me. I mean, I'm 6'2", 220, and 130 pounds on this frame. I looked like I was a freaking, like I was a marathon runner or a POW that just got released. But that's what I looked like. And I was in denial, looking in the mirror, just kind of like telling everybody I changed my diet up. At that point, I remember going to take a contract and they turned me down. They said, Dice, get your act together. You look like shit. That was like the big indicator that something was wrong, and that I was that gold goose that laid the golden egg was no longer available to me. So what does a good addict alcoholic do when someone smacks their ego in the face? maybe we should drink
Double
and
down.
use
Yeah.
double down. There we go.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Ended up crashing and burning. Ended up in a treatment center, and there was a therapist in that treatment center that freaking got through to me. He shout out to the Farley Center. I mean, that place freaking saved me. When I got through treatment, a year into my recovery, everything in my life had kind of changed, including my perspective. It was funny. I thought back to that therapist, and I was blown away at one thing about him. He came to work that morning with a cup of coffee and saved my ass. My entire life, I've had kit bags and gurneys and M4 and haversack, all this shit I'd been using to be the hero. That guy walked in with a cup of coffee. That hit me so hard. I was like, that guy was a badass. I want to do what he does. And I went back to school, and like any good addict, I mean, I went hard. I got my associates at Tidewater Community College, shout out TCC, transferred to ODU, got my undergraduate in human services, stayed on for my master's in counseling. At 5 years clean and sober, I went back to the Farley Center where I had been a patient 5 years earlier and asked for a job. They hired me. I got to work there over the next 7 years, working with addicts, alcoholics, specializing in veterans, helped them develop a veteran program, helped them set up an IOP program just for veterans. Did that, went back, got my PhD. Why? Because I'm an addict and I just got addicted to learning, I guess. Came back and started developing different programs for veterans. My entire dissertation was based on what interventions were most successful with the veteran population. There it is, man. That's me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that 4th of July over in Ocean View?
Not 4th of July. It was July 15th, 2010. And that is at Mount Trashmore.
And that's right. You said it was at Mount Trashmore. Okay.
Yeah, Mount Trashmore. Man, and I keep that on my desk just to remind me that is still available. If I want that life, I know how to get there. I know the path that leads to there. And it's a daily reminder. So, I mean, to anybody out there who's turning a corner, those images that you look at the phone and you want to delete all that stuff, save one to remind yourself, of where you've been and where you are today. After working at the treatment center for a while, I branched out on my own. I started Bishop and Dice Defense. Bishop and Dice Defense is a veteran-owned small business. Myself and Scott Bishop, he's the other owner. We've known each other for decades. He is like the brain, the whiz with the contracts, and he's in recovery as well. And we're just going at it together. But we came up with this vehicle to get through to veterans, law enforcement, and first responders. These populations that are resistant to help. They have their dukes up mentally. They say they're fine when they're not. They do not want to. And this is my for those of you on the radio or listening in who can't see this, I have my dukes up here like in the fighting stance, and I am fucking comfortable. This is me all day, every day. I'll talk to anyone. But to lower my guard, to put myself in a vulnerable position, a place where you're open to being honest and not have your defenses up is uncomfortable. Oh my gosh, it's so much nicer here. But to get there takes time and trust. So Scott Bishop and myself put together Bishop and Dice Defense. Our entire business plan is as follows. We will roll into your department. We will roll into your firehouse. We will roll into your VA, and we will supply ammo. We'll supply, tier 1 gear. We'll supply training. We'll shoot the shit with you for a whole year. We're going to talk about shit we want to talk about. Year 2, we'll bring in mental health services. Now that you trust us, we've earned a seat at the table, and we've opened the door to allow you to ask questions, what's going on, and begin those hard conversations. It's not rocket science, man. We've been doing this for 3.5 years. We got fucking good at it. We're in 7 states now. I mean, we're going to do whatever it takes to get through the nation's heroes. The heroes need heroes. My experience has been we've been so trained in the military. If I sit down with anyone and you ask me a question, I am going to give you the answer that you want. Yes, 2 drinks. That's all I've had. I'm programmed just to spit out the appropriate answer. The real. Oh,
I
yes.
answered that question honestly once.
Did you? What happened? Did their head explode?
I had to go see a lieutenant colonel who asked me why I drank so much. I told her it was because I was Irish. She didn't find it funny.
It's cultural, sir. You wouldn't understand. Oh man.
So
much.
Keith, I need to apologize. I didn't realize that Dr. Dice was so shy and he wouldn't want to really talk much.
Right.
It's always painful when we got to pull information out of people.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Keith? Can you relate it all to a story? I know I can.
Oh, I can relate to all of it. And I guess questions for him off air, but that's a whole other thing. I think we might run in some of the same circles, but
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
the same people money. Yeah.
Right. So you showed us the picture of your son and stuff, and I'm just kind of curious on your personal journey. Like, how did the family life come into play in this journey of recovery? Like, how were they an anchor in all of this?
Oh man, the family life. Okay, at that point, in that picture, you can see I have Ronan. He's 2 years old in that picture. I have been the worst husband and father you can imagine. Just it got so bad. My wife had called my platoon buddies to come over and change the locks on my own house to keep me out because my behavior was so erratic, not showing up, not coming home, staying out on 3-day benders. They had every right to freaking to defend themselves from this ball of chaos that was me. What ultimately, got me was I hit a point in my bottom where I realized my dad had died from this disease. I'm going to die from this disease, and Ronan is going to follow me. That was the flip in my script that made me pick up a phone book and dial a treatment center. That was that one connection. And I find that with veterans a lot, that we get to a point where we don't give a shit about us anymore. We just fucking don't. I'm a piece of shit, whatever it is that makes me self-hate or self-destruct. But man, I could have 2 broken legs and being shot once, but for some reason I can get up and drag your ass to the side. Like it's so programmed in me to help my buddy. A lot of times the idea that I need to be strong in order to help you is enough to get me to reach out for help. Like I could be drowning and you're going to throw me a life preserver, but if you're drowning too, I'm going to get that life preserver and get it to you. And we're both going to get saved. It's almost like I care more for you than myself. And that's a great motivator to get you in the door for a treatment.
Absolutely. Yeah. And in your journey with all the, on the other side, on the counseling side of the house, what is the biggest misconception that you found with addiction or even group counseling that you've had to dispel during your presentation?
The misconception, I mean, it's straight up, it's about 12-step recovery programs, really. There's, you guys may not believe this, but there are over 200 different 12-step fellowships out there for depression, anxiety, for gambling, all of them use the same 12 steps, and all of them have the same underlying therapeutic principles in these, in which I spent a lot of time in my book breaking that down. What is it? What are the mechanics? Because how can this work for so many? And so I think the misconception is that it's like a religious entity, or it's not as organized as it presumes itself to be, like just drunks talking about alcohol. But they're everywhere. They're free. It's peer recovery. It's you, and there are groups of just military. There's groups of just military pilots. There are groups of just, you can find a very specialized group. So I think dispelling that, finding a group that fits you, get out there and explore. That's a lot of the work we do in recovery.
Yeah. Absolutely. Quiet, Shawn. What's going on in that head?
I know, man. I think you broke his nose and his tongue.
God help us when I become speechless. No, it's the addiction thing, and like you talk about, you know, flipping the script and all that stuff, and Keith will attest to this. I've been having those same discussions, thoughts in my own life, and it's been 5 weeks sober at this point, and realizing you break the cycle at some point. So it's just what you're saying is really hitting home and making me think more. So it's good stuff, and I look forward to checking out this book. But let's talk about it. So tell us about the book real quick.
All right. The book's available now on Amazon, guys. I'm pre-ordered. It's going to drop. I mean, it has dropped, so go ahead and check it out. The book is simple. This is not a Navy SEAL combat, shoot 'em up, explosions, Jack Carr kind of read. This is about a Navy SEAL or high performer who under the hood is freaking self-destructing, who on the outward, dude looks like his shit is squared away, but underneath he's being eaten alive by his own self-talk, and then all of a sudden it works until it doesn't. Addiction takes him out, blows up his life, loss of job, family, kids, everything you can think of losing, blows it up. In recovery, thinking it's over, how after finding myself in recovery and realizing the power that exists in service, that my job of being there for my buddies isn't over. And that this call goes out to saying, you think you're worthless, you think you just ruined everything, when actually you may become now more valuable than you ever realized. And there's work to be done. So it's a call to action, how it can work for you. And at the same time, it's at the end of every chapter, I break it down of what's going on behind the scenes and showing the therapeutic principles going. So you're gonna get an education, but you're also gonna have a crazy read. I mean, there's shit in here that I know I'm gonna get arrested for. I fought with my publishers day and night. They're like, "You'll print, that's a war crime." I'm like, dude, don't trust me. Get it out there. Someone can relate. Yeah, so it's gonna be a fun read. You guys are gonna enjoy it.
That's awesome. Well, we are at time, Dr. Dice. This has been absolutely amazing. So I just want to thank you for coming on the show and sharing
Absolutely,
your
man.
incredible journey. But before we go, I have 2 questions for you.
Ask.
All right. First, which is tougher? Buds, raising 5 kids, or running group therapy for firefighters? And then second question is, how do people get in touch with you?
Dude. All right. First question, which is tougher? Financially, the kids by far, it's tougher to handle that. All right. Okay. Firefighters, group therapy for firefighters. Dude, everyone loves a firefighter. My heart goes out to you guys. Most of the damage you do to yourselves, you do to yourselves. It really is you fucking yourself up. And then for buds, took years off my life. I'm telling you, I'm one of those guys who had to do Hell Week twice. So yeah, it fucking sucks. How do you get in touch with me? Dr. Dice on any social platform. Google it. I'll pop up everywhere. My book, Amazon, or you want to get on my mailing list, drdicebook.com.
Awesome. Well, this has been an amazing episode again, Dr. Dice. Thank you so much for coming on. It was great having you. Thank you for all that you're doing for our community, our veteran community and beyond. It's absolutely amazing work. And on behalf of the entire VET S.O.S family, we want to thank everyone for spending their time with us. It's always great having everyone along for the ride. Don't forget to check out all of our other episodes and keep coming back for more stories, insight, and support from the VET S.O.S crew. And if you enjoyed this episode, give us a follow, share the show, and tell a friend or two. Toss your battle buddies, fire team, shipmates, and wingmen that flotation device. I'm getting tongue-tied for the last episode, that they need, so that no one drowns in the sea of transition. Yeah, I'm slowing down because the big part of the end is, remember, don't drown in the sea of transition. Grab the VET S.O.S Lifeline.